We
Hi,
have
Karen.
all of our regulars. We love it.
Hi, Jeff. Jeff's coming in, Manny, from the East Coast. He
Okay,
was on our panel at the neuroscience conference we do.
Mhm.
nice.
You say your name,
Awesome.
Catriel?
Yes.
Nice to
Yes,
see you.
Catriel. Nice to meet you.
Catriel. I like that. I don't know anyone with that name.
Catriel is one of our newest interns.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
She goes to, is it Westmont University in Santa Barbara. And
nice.
she's
nice.
here for the summer. So
That's
she,
wonderful. Hi, John. Hi, Lauren.
and John is on here too.
Hi.
Manny was talking about you on our pre-call.
Oh, Mr. John Hickey.
You can drop the mister.
Okay, all right. I was just, how you been?
I've been well.
Awesome.
Been furloughed for a while, but now I'm back in making events happen.
Yeah, no, I saw your recent post. Well, I'm excited and happy.
Mhm.
Well, I'm excited and happy to be hearing your voice.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everyone, I'll go ahead and get started. We have a little Zoom rules for everybody who is new or hasn't joined before. Just a couple, please mute yourself when you're not speaking. We recommend speaker view for presentation. Video sharing is optional, though we love to see all your smiling faces. Please type any questions and comments into the chat bar. We love to engage with you in the chat. I will be moderating the chat so I can read what you wrote. We will have a Q&A at the end with our guest speaker today. So if you have any questions, you'll be able to unmute yourself then. And you can also type them into the chat and I can ask the question for you. Either way, we love to engage with you. And we also send a recap email with resources and more information about our guest speaker after today. So that's another, we like to include all of our chat comments into the recap emails as well. So feel free to make use of that as much as you want. A quick update from Autism Tree since March of last year when the COVID pandemic first hit San Diego, and we pivoted to online platforms. We have now reached over 584,000 people through our social media channels. We've been very blessed to have amazing interns to help me manage all of our social media channels. So now we do everything. We do Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Our YouTube channel has been incredible. Our posts have been shared over 1,011 times. So thanks to everyone who has been shared all of our content. We really love that you've been sharing our video content. Like our YouTube channel has now 383 impact videos and on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe today if you haven't already. We do post on a weekly basis. We also post them across our social media as well. We have now posted 336 videos since last March. So a huge majority of those videos that we have on our YouTube channel are submitted from our volunteers and our program managers and our supporters during this time, wanting to engage with our kids and families online. And we have a couple different video series of ideas that we're giving for our families, for kids to do at home that are easy and low cost. We also have a Reading with Autism Tree series where our volunteers read a children's book to our kids. And that's been a big hit. We've posted over 107 of those videos and reached over 50,000 people just through that series. We have also provided 256 virtual events to date, and 19 of our 20 programs have been pivoted online onto Zoom. We do about 3 to 5 events per week. So thanks to all of our families and our program managers for pivoting so quickly and onto an online platform. We've had such success with that with our families. We now have 15 events coming up between now and the end of next month. So we're always adding new events. And if you'd like to volunteer or get involved in any way, feel free to reach out to me directly and I'd be happy to plug you in on all that's going on, both online and in person. And now I'll pass it off to Dana Hoff, our co-founder and volunteer executive director. This is our 52nd Lunch and Learn, and she's going to introduce Manny Alfelor, our special guest speaker.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's so nice to see everybody and just to feel the connection that we're having. 52 lunch and learns is incredible to me, and it's something that Rebecca and I continue to feel that we want to put energy towards, and a lot of it is because we love seeing your faces, but also because we get to see people we might only see maybe once a year or twice a year, like Jeff, who's on here from Massachusetts. And so it just, it's extraordinary what we've been accomplishing. And also what's really, I think, extraordinary is it gives us this chance to sort of, in a way, pause with you and look at people who've just done incredible things for our children, our team, our mission, our families. And sometimes I think people don't realize in 17 years, how did it happen? And who was the connector? So Manny's going to kind of share probably a little bit with you, and you'll see it in the photos, who at Autism Tree brought Manny to us, and what a gift he's been. And just we have for a year now together not experienced a DJ and an event, and just that incredible energy that you get when someone is an awesome DJ is like, there's no way to sort of exaggerate it. I mean, so much more happens when you have a great DJ and you have a great group of people that all want to be together, and you're doing it because of children that you love and you want to create more opportunity for and more connection for those families. And so it just means so much to me to reflect with you on Manny and have you meet him. And also in Manny, we usually start with a question. And this is kind of like a kickoff. And the question for you today, if you want to answer it, is what is your favorite ATPF event in your memory? You could think about it for a little bit because you've done a lot. And I love, I haven't sometimes said how much I like when people send in the photos, but I love the background photo there is when someone sent in, which just kind of makes it fun and keeps connection of people being involved in the Lunch and Learn. This one was sent in by Kimmy Najera. It was in Santa Barbara in last year. So it's also kind of nice to see people still getting out and us being able to look at new places when we've been in quarantine for a year. So Manny, how do you feel about answering that question?
Oh, yeah, first of all, well, thank you for having me, Dana. It's a pleasure, and it's nice to see everyone again. But yeah, so I would say the father and daughter dance that really just has a special, place in my heart. I mean, as you know, I've DJ'd so many clubs and parties, but this is different. It was special because I mean, I've had high school dances, proms, but having to see a father, I mean, right now I'm getting goosebumps by just talking about it. I mean, just seeing, the daughters and their dads just having a good time. I mean, every song I played was like the dance floor was packed. I mean, you can't ask anything better than that as a DJ. That means, you are actually connecting with people that are listening to your music. But that would be my most favorite memorable event or events, because I did about 3 of the father and daughter dance.
I love it. I know. And, that was one thing that was so surprising when we started the girls program. We started with only 4 little girls with autism. We had no idea there were so many. And from events like that, I mean, you really helped grow the program, Manny. You did that for over 3 years. And we have like over 300 girls in our program, which is fully incredible when you think that in 2009, we started with 4 little girls who are now, college age or at least high school.
Yeah.
So you definitely, that's what I mean about having you on the Lunch and Learn. You've been part of the growth at Autism Tree and opening new doors and experiences, which is so vital for everybody as humans, but certainly for children and adults with autism. And so kind of for fun, Manny,
Yeah.
I picked a 1-minute video. I always do this in the speaker's honor, but yours is going to be the most notably entertaining.
Oh, wow.
I think this is to kick it off.
All right.
Manny, that's how I think of you when I think of DJing. There was a lot of different videos, but I hope you like that one.
Oh, no, it's
Okay, can you bring
great.
me back up on the screen for 1 second? Before the quote. Okay. Yeah, how'd you like that video for fun?
I want to get up and dance.
Right. Yeah, no. So it's in your honor, and every week I also bring up a quote in the speaker's honor that reminds me of them. So
Mhm.
this one I felt was perfect for you. Um, Doing something for yourself gives motivation, but doing something for others gives meaning. And I think you already just nailed that in talking to us today. And thank you so much, Manny, for all the things you've done. Rebecca has put together some great memories. I love the one of you with the guitar. This is from the VIP summer party like a rock star.
Yes, that's
And
when I first met you guys.
yeah, I love that memory. And this is at Dr. Sanchez's house, the far
Right.
two in the top and the bottom. There's Scott Leslie with his wife Ann Leslie and Manny. And Manny, is that Michael next to you?
That's John Kennedy. That's Anne's brother.
Oh, okay. Got it. I love it. Manny's gonna like illuminate. Do you want to say anything about that, Manny? About how you came to ATPF?
Yes, yes. So I was introduced. So John Kennedy, he's a real estate agent here in San Diego. So I do a lot of work with him. And he said, "Hey, do you want to come over to a fundraising for my sister?" I said, "Sure." And I've never met Anne. It's just I said, "Okay, let's go." So this was in Bonita. And then finally, when we got there, that's the first time I also met Garrett. As a little kid, he was actually just saying hi, and pretty much he was the greeter at the driveway. I said, "Who is this kid? Like, he just has such good energy." So I already had a good feeling about it. It's like, oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. And that's when I met Ann Leslie. That's John's sister, who he claims now that she stole me as his BFF, because we got really close. Like, Ann and I got really close. And that's when it all started, because you all needed the DJ for the 10-year anniversary at Hard Rock. So
Yes, I love it. Well, if anybody knows Ann Leslie, she's been with the foundation since 2007, and her husband do Kibble's Rockin' Clubhouse. She's a lot of fun. It says a lot, Manny, that you two were like magnets.
yeah, we were like, gosh, I kind of felt like I've known you for a long time.
I love it. I have a few more photos on that same first
Mhm.
slide. So there's Manny at the Hard Rock Hotel. That was our
Mhm.
10-year anniversary in 2013. Look at him DJing. I mean, it's just an epic
I
picture
was
of you, Manny.
I was so nervous. I mean, because that was a big party. I mean, that was a big event. Yeah.
It was. And then Curtis Gaphart, who was a board member at Autism Tree for a very long time, he had a property called the Lake House. It was pretty
Mhm.
incredible property, and we did a VIP thank you party there. And you can see Manny DJing it, and John's son Levi. Look how little
Levi.
he is.
Oh my gosh.
He's so
That
tiny.
popped up on my Facebook not too long ago, and that's when I reached out to John and I said,
Aw.
"Look at Levi," and
I
he's
love
now a big kid, like he's growing. Wow.
it. I know these DJing pictures of you at that event and Casino for a Cause and Robert Cromians. And you did a lot of events back to back, 2013 and 14. That's a lot
Oh
of
yes,
events,
you
big
guys, you guys kept me busy.
And these are the slides that Rebecca pulled these pictures from the father-daughter dance,
Yeah.
the far left ones. You can really see what you're talking about. The girls out on the dance floor, their
Mhm.
dads. So Manny did that for 3 years during the summer. I think it was the father-daughter dance was every July, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other one's from the 2016 luncheon. That was that first 1,000-person luncheon so that we could screen Head Start preschoolers. And then there's you at a program managers meeting. And the girls' favorite things is at Alexander Tacone's. Is that right? Or Linda Townsend's?
That's Linda Thompson's home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. So you've worked with a lot of Autism Tree board members over the years too, Manny.
Yes. Yes. Sure did.
Yeah, so it's really nice to introduce you today and just to say thank you so much for all the help that you've given us to raise money and to open new doors and experiences for our kids, and just to create incredible energy that I feel creates more connection
Mhm.
100% of the time. So I can't wait till we get to experience you DJing again, Manny.
I know. It's in your closet.
Well, with warm welcome, you can talk about whatever you like, Manny, whatever is on your heart today.
Well, I basically last year was a very interesting year for everyone, right? And I guess with everyone kind of just kept at home, or we were so limited in what we can do, we basically just had to, excuse me, pretty much find ways to keep ourselves and minds busy. I don't know, for some of you, I mean, it was really challenging and difficult. All of a sudden, like, we're just kind of like kept in our own space and kind of looking at the walls of our house, like, what am I going to do? But in a way, it kind of helped me to pretty much focus on myself. I guess as a professional, I do mortgages for people who would want to buy homes and refinance, and you get so caught up with that busy hustle every day, you tend to forget about caring about yourself, health and your mind, right? So I think that really helped me kind of slow down a bit and just be present at the moment, and have a better I would say lifestyle, and watching what I eat, and do a little bit of exercise. But yeah, and then one thing too is like we found more ways or things to do in the house. Like, we had like small projects, right? Yeah, so K-Trail is nodding her head. Yeah, so sometimes we get into like bigger projects, like, geez, like this is something that needed a professional, like an electrician or a contractor, or like scratching our heads if we started something that we can't really do. But it's good. I mean, it kept us busy. But I think that was the most important thing, is kind of slowing down and focusing on myself, especially health wise, because like I said, we're in a very busy world, and sometimes we're just kind of get caught up in the moment where, fast food, or not even going to the gym, or just even simple walks. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Lake Miramar. It's by Mira Mesa. It's a 5-mile walk or run, but it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. When the gyms were closed last year, that's where everyone was going. So I've never seen the lake that packed, but now it's there's more space, more parking, but that was my go-to when I needed to clear my head, or just to kind of be outdoors, because kind of just to cope with everything that's going on. But yeah.
What other tips do you have for like mental health, or any other, like, what are the type of projects that you did during COVID? And
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we added closet kits in our closets. I love shoes, so I said there's got to be a way to like kind of organize like these things in the house. So another thing was, I've never seen a line at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's like, I used to line up. Well, I never lined up going to clubs, because we knew the owners. I knew the owners, and we go the back door. It's DJs, and now I'm at Home Depot. There's like a long line outside. I go, do I get a VIP pass here? But so small projects like that. I mean, you can't really do anything that I mean, not too big of a project, I would say, but just small things around the house. Even organizing, like I read a lot. I love reading. I can see my stack of books back there. But just kind of reorganizing my library, and like maybe rereading some of my favorite books. And I know it's hard for me to give myself at least 10 to 15 minutes of quiet time, but I'm getting better. So when I get up in the morning now, it's kind of just getting my cup of coffee and just really kind of focus on yourself. Because sometimes when I get up, or even before I go to bed, or sometimes when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about work. And I know it's hard for me to shut off or shut down, but give yourself, at least 10 minutes every morning when you get up. Just sit down. It doesn't matter if you're reading a paper or nothing, or sometimes even nothing. Just enjoying that cup of coffee, and just, I always, think about things to be grateful about, or things that are to be thankful for. And, one of the most important things is, me waking up in the morning and still be able to have the opportunity to change or touch, someone's life. That's always my big thing. Like, who can I help today, or who can I actually smile or give that smile?
As you can see, everyone, this is why Manny fits right in with Autism Tree culture. I just love your big heart. It's really wonderful.
I mean, it's easier to be kind and just, pass, just smile at people. I've, last year, I'm sure most of you can also relate to this, when we started, kind of allowed to go out, or, go to restaurants, or even go to the groceries, people were just like not miserable. I don't know that's not the term, but you just don't know what's going on in their head. And it's harder too to know whether they're smiling at you, or they're like, biting their tongue, because, we're all covered, right? But one thing I found out, if someone is really smiling, like, you can see their eyes kind of do this. So, they're smiling back at you. But just even a simple nod like this can acknowledge that, hey, I'm feeling what you're feeling. And if you're having a bad day, I don't know what it is, but just smile. And it's, like I said, it's easier to be kind to someone, versus kind of ride with their if they're having a bad day or what, because we don't know exactly what they're going through.
Right.
Smile.
Do you have we have a lot of avid readers. We actually started a book club during COVID. One of our volunteers, Danielle Levy, she's Dr. Levy's daughter, and she is incredible. And so just does a great job, like, analyzing the messages and themes of books, and presenting on them. And she actually started the book club. And then one of our kids, Otto, who's not a kid, he's a teen, and he's non-speaking and uses a keyboard to communicate. He's a typer. And his mom really, like, he gravitated towards the book club. So I just a question, do you have any book recommendations that really stood out to you during this time that you read? Maybe just one or two.
Gosh, so many. So I'm in sales, obviously. So I love reading, self-help books that would motivate me every day, because like I said earlier, people feed on your energy. And if you're in sales and you don't sound confident, and, because you got to win their trust, right? So we are so surrounded with a lot of negativity, and, people they tend to kind of gravitate towards the negative part of life, versus like, hey, look at the brighter side. We're still alive, and we have, things, to do or look forward to. But one of the books that I've actually read many times is called The Answer by John Assaraf. He actually lives here in San Diego. He's one of the co-authors of The Secret. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Has anybody read that before? Raise your hand if you have.
You gotta attach that to the follow-up email that goes out, Manny. That's awesome. I've read The Secret. I'll have to pick that one up.
What is the book about, the one that you read? Not The Secret, but the other one. What's the title again?
The Answer?
Yeah. Is that like a series?
No, it's just it's not a series. God, there's just so many good points to talk about that book, but it's just all about your it's just switching from a negative to a positive way of thinking. Yeah, so it's how you react in certain things. Like in the morning, let's just say, very, very simple example, like wake up, you accidentally stub your toe, in the bedside, or and then all of a sudden now you're kind of mad at yourself, like, oh my gosh, like, it's going to be a bad day, right? And look in your bathroom, you have no toothpaste, like, geez. But those things sometimes can trigger you already being like mad at yourself, like, why didn't I do this? But channeling that to a different form of energy, it's like, oh, I'll just get toothpaste later, or maybe I should wake up and pay attention to where I'm walking, versus like, bumping or, stubbing my toe on the bed. So
Mhm.
something like that. It's just very, very simple, but it could really change the way you could set your day and also maybe even your life. Like small things don't really matter, right? So
I love that. Well, I'd love to go back to talking a little bit about you as a DJ.
okay.
How did you get into DJing and how long have you been doing that for?
So as a kid, my mom told me, I guess I cry a lot. So for her to stop, to control my crying, she would just pick me up and kind of, she would stand in front of a turntable, and I would just watch that, thing spin, and I would fall asleep. However, that's just like my theory. And then as a kid, I love music. I collect music. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I could show you. Do you mind if so here's my setup here at home. So those are my vinyls.
Wow.
You have
I love it.
how many do you think you have?
That plus the ones that are in storage. I've pretty much brought everything from the Philippines to Guam. When I moved here to San Diego, and I moved to Phoenix, and now back to San Diego, I have a lot. That's my vinyls. These are my most treasured like music, because I have CDs and MP3. So I have a lot.
Wow.
As a kid, I love music, from rock, disco, pop, country. I mean everything. And then I was in high school. My friend's dad actually owned a club in the Philippines, and I used to make mixtapes. I don't know if the younger ones what is a mixtape, right? Everyone now is just listening to MP3s, but it's an actual cassette tape. So I recorded a mix, and then I gave it to my friend, and then she was playing it, and her dad heard it. He goes like, "Who did this?" Like, "Oh, my classmate." And mind you, we're in high school. I think we were sophomores. And he goes like, "He's good. Does he want to spin in the club?" And this is like a big time club in the Philippines. And so my friend, she goes, "Hey, my dad listened to the tape you made me, and he asked me if you're interested in spinning." I said, "Are you crazy?" "Yes, I am interested." So I was actually the youngest DJ in the Philippines. I was 14 going to 15. So the rule was I couldn't drink alcohol. Yeah.
What age or what was your DJ name?
I didn't have any, back then there's no like DJ, like a pen name for DJs. So I just came on my set. They gave me an earlier slot, like from 11 to 1 o'clock. I mean, clubs don't open till really like 10:30, but people start coming in like around 11 between those times. So I was headlining back then, and it was so much fun.
Wow, that's incredible. You must
So
be so talented. Sophomore.
Yeah, so the news spread. So my classmates, everyone say, "Oh gosh," so kind of attracted a smaller, a younger crowd in clubs back then. In the Philippines, I think you're 18, you can go in clubs already. I think here it's 21. I think they do have now, but yeah. So that's how it all started. And then, a couple of my friends started opening their own clubs and bars, and they said, "Hey, you want to DJ for us?" So yeah, I even told my parents, like, maybe I should not go to school anymore and just DJ. So my dad was not really a fan of it. It's like, what are you going to feed your kids? Records? So maybe.
Were you making good money as a DJ, like on the side as
Actually, I never even cared like if they paid me. They were paying me, I forget how much, but I wasn't really focused on that. Like my stuff was just being in the club, and I was so very meticulous about the songs that I played, because it's a good DJ really would see the crowd read, right? You can't play the music that you like. You got to go with their what their current mood is. So especially the beginning of the night, like you don't just like give them all the popular songs. You got to get them warmed up, just like what I do with the Autism Tree project. When people are coming in, you got to set the mood, right? You got to set that mood. You got to get them happy, and then later on maybe put some songs that would remind them of something. It's, "Oh, I love this song." And that's how you kind of break the ice, because I kid you not, even like going out or going to parties, like you're still kind of nervous, like, oh, am I wearing the right shirt, blouse, dress, whatever? Like people are just so like afraid to, just show up and just be themselves. So I think with the help of music, it kind of, eases everyone, just calms everyone's nerves down and kind of get in the groove. So I think, DJ's role in social events are really key because they set the mood. I mean, I may be wrong, but I've done so many parties. I mean, not maybe a few that were flops, but of course, I don't want to talk about that.
Everybody's learning experience at some point.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, it's all about crowd reading, and I love that.
Really good tip. Karen asked, Manny, who's your favorite artist?
Oh, Karen, I mean, I have so many to mention. I mean, artists like sing, a songwriter. I mean, so many of them, but the ones that I really follow are like Carl Cox, Tiesto. He was like an underground DJ, but he became mainstream. So he has like shows and gigs in Las Vegas now. I used to follow him when he had like warehouse parties all over the country. And then, yeah, I guess when people are, asking more of your mainstream music, you kind of go with the flow, right? So, yeah, I have way too many. Yeah.
What's your favorite type of music to DJ with?
I do have like I love the 80s. I think that was the height of my my career in DJing. I love disco. It's a fun era.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, dance music is always like my go-to. I mean, right now it's just blew up. Like everyone is into dance music. Yeah.
So you've been DJing up until this point. How did COVID affect that? Have you just not been doing it for the past year, or?
Yeah, sadly, I mean, because there's no events, but I did one. Everything now is in Zoom, so it was kind of interesting enough because now when people are in Zoom meetings like this, like people pay attention to what you do. So I was invited by a group of my friends from all over actually not just here in the US, but everyone was listening from Asia, from Europe. So we did a big kind of a reunion of the DJs back in the Philippines, and we did a live stream. So they asked me to spin for about an hour, and this was New Year's Eve. So it was a big thing. So we had about 5,000 people were kind of watching our stream. So yeah, my hands were like sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, what music do I play? I mean, do I look fat in my shirt? So all these things that were just, but it was so much fun. And I said, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time. So, and it's harder because now it's like, I can't see people dancing, or you just see a screen of like people and it's like, just like us right now. Right. Some of them would just be just looking at it. So I'm not really, because you go with their body gestures, right? If they're having fun, they're a little bit dancing, but this time everyone's just like their faces. It's like, what do I play next? I said, I'm just going to keep going, but it turned out pretty good. But yeah, last year I had no events at all, except for that live stream. Yeah.
How did they live stream it? Was it on Zoom?
On Zoom, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's exciting.
Or Zoom, or Michael, my husband, actually, he's more into the IT tech. So I had 3 cameras here in the house. So it was kind of really cool. So it was changing in different angles, like in my turntables and then my face and then what I was doing. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, one thing that we really realized was a benefit, and that we might even keep still doing virtual events just because of the amount of people that we can reach all over the world,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's really cool that you had that experience. And
yes,
I wonder if what's the best place to like find your music? Like, do you have music that you've released or any recordings of you being
I actually did so there's this app called Mixcloud. So I have 12 episodes that I've recorded. They're about an hour each, but that was back in 2018. So like I said earlier, I'm very meticulous of, the music I play, all my mixes. I'm very, very like I think I'm not the biggest, critic of what I do. So I only did 12 episodes, and it's really challenging to kind of pick songs and kind of blend and mix them. But I do plan to do that in the future. But yeah, if anyone, it's a app called Mixcloud. So you can just look me up, Manny Alfelor. So it's all mostly dance music. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Manny, we could link it too to the email we send out after.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Because you've had a couple people that were excited about what that. Like, Terrence, do you want to tell Manny what you wrote in?
Oh, sure. Now I'm a mute. So I'm Terrence, by the way. Nice to meet you, Manny.
Terrence, likewise.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, can't see each other in person because of still COVID.
I know.
Yeah, I'm still a liaison spokesperson at the San Diego Symphony, but I checked the YouTube several times. I don't see like a week 8 videos, but I got them for 7 weeks. Like you're supposed to go for 8 weeks.
Yes, there's one.
I'm a musician. I play a trombone.
Thanks, Terrence. Yeah, Terrence is our, we have a partnership with the San Diego Symphony, like Terrence mentioned, and he is our spokesperson for that program. And so they release videos on their YouTube every week, or at least they're supposed to. I think their social media person's a little bit behind Terrence.
Oh, okay.
But there will be another video. And as soon as they do, then we'll let you know, because Terrence does this amazing thing and he listens to that video, and it's one of their symphony musicians, and they speak about a specific instrument, and then Terrence takes that and puts his own twist on it, and he reflects on that instrument. So Terrence, yeah, you play the trombone.
A trombone, yes.
And you also want to do a little bit of composition, right?
Oh, yeah. Like it's been a while because I just got back from my morning walk this morning, which is a good exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I do take walks.
The best.
Terrence usually sends us music on SoundCloud.
Oh, SoundCloud, yeah.
Okay.
So, Manny, do you have any tips for Terrence on mixing music?
I always tell myself, as long as it's coming from the heart, that's the biggest thing. It says when you're inspired. There are times when I'm not in the mood to mix, or the music that I want to listen to. I mean, nothing is really coming along, but it always has to come from here, and it'll come out to be very genuine, and I'm sure it's going to touch a lot of people when you start playing for others.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Manny, I love it. I mean, this is the essence of Autism Tree coming out of you. Like, I mean, if I have to have people understand, like, how do we do what we do at Autism Tree? We don't have the staff we need to do all that we do. And I don't know if everybody knows, but we promoted Rebecca to Director of Operations. So that's official. And it just takes so much. It's all heart connection. It's one heart connecting to another heart, to another heart. Every decision Rebecca and I make every day, and our board and everybody, and what we decide to do is all based on a heart connection. It is absolutely why we do Lunch and Learns with you. It's that heart connection is vital. And I do believe it continues to help the autism, tree grow. And we've never been a foundation that tries to grow super, super fast. Like, if you really look at 17 years, it's been one family at a time. And that family doesn't always have to be a family with someone with autism. It's like you connecting to Ann Leslie and being here all these years and opening all these doors, and just everything you're sharing today is truly the essence of why Autism Tree is here 17 years later, Manny. I'm just really blessed by the way you're just speaking. Is the whole reason we're doing a Lunch and Learn with Manny, everybody, because this is how Manny is living his life. And what an honor for us that he connected to Autism Tree through our own Ann Leslie, who is one of our families and has a son with autism. And so I think, it's just very organic, but that situation right there is how this foundation was built and how we continue to build it. So I always encourage everybody to, be you. Like, and I don't mean it in a very simple way. I think when you really share yourself, like Manny has, it kind of takes your breath away a little bit. I mean, Manny shared a lot of things that sort of, Manny took my breath away a little bit today. And we don't ask people to share something they don't want to share. And that, I think, has been the magic of the Lunch and Learn, is that people share these amazing things that are so deep within them. And that's the heart connection, because we would never do that with each other if we didn't just have this incredible heart connection. So I really, I thank you for just being you, Manny, because it really illuminates why we keep doing the Lunch and Learn and why they're so vitally important.
I appreciate you, Dana. You know that.
Oh, it goes both ways. You made me cry today a little bit. Your mom sounds amazing. I'd love to meet her. Is she still in the Philippines?
Yes. Oh, she's back on Guam. Actually, I'm planning to visit Guam because they lifted the quarantine, but I haven't seen her for almost 2 years, and it's hard because we always like see each other at least twice a year, and she's afraid of traveling. So I said, we'll fly to you, but traveling to Guam is like almost a day. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a picture that's easy to text Rebecca, I would love to put a picture of you and your mom in our follow-up email.
Yeah, she's a tough cookie.
Send Manny's mom some love for being a great mom to him. She's the origin of your DJing, right?
Well, yes. I remember I had summer jobs, and I said, Mom, I only made like $250, and the turntable cost about $450. He says, well, what do you want me to do? It's like, well, I need you to pay for the rest. And he goes like, I need 2 turntables, not one, so I need 2. And she goes like, Manny, that's like what, $400, like what I saved the rest of my money. So she's been there all along, but my collection of vinyls got out of hand, especially now. When you're a music lover, you would do anything and you'll find everything to have that music. So
I love it. I love the comment John wrote in, everyone. He
yeah,
said, Manny, you played the soundtrack to ATPF's growth.
that's cool. Thank you, John. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Thank you, man.
I know at the doctor's office, but he really wanted to join today for you, Manny.
Oh,
No,
Rebecca,
John,
who else typed stuff in so we don't lose anybody?
Well, Terrence said a little bit more about, he loves using the DJ mixer and synthesizer. Those are his favorite things to use.
Okay.
Jeff Snyder said, Manny, you and I have a lot in common in terms of collections. You should see my DVD and Blu-ray collection.
Oh, cool.
Jeff, I love that.
Love it.
Yep, I have DVDs both visible and in storage. I'm trying to sell them and stuff, sell the ones I don't watch anymore. So
Yeah. Well, just be careful like what you sell, because sometimes when you sell things and then later on you can't find them, and I kind of also regret it at times when I said, oh, I'll probably get rid of it, and now I can't find them, and now people are actually selling them double or triple the amount. Yeah. So I actually have a controller also behind me. So I have a lot of equipment. So this is what I use for a compact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's so many like gadgets and equipment that you can basically create your music. So Terrence, also with you being very
Yes.
creative with music and stuff. Yeah, that's something you would want to kind of look into. And
Yes.
yeah.
What is the equipment that you use called, Manny?
It's made by Pioneer, so they're called a DJ. There's a lot of codes. Maybe I'll text it to you and maybe just kind of publish it. Yeah.
I'll include it in the recap.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this was so fun, everyone.
I know.
Thank you so much, Manny. I'm going to go ahead and take a group picture for all of us recording this in ATPF history. That's our favorite thing to do. Obviously, Manny, I'm sure you know Autism Tree loves pictures.
Oh, I know.
Awesome. All right. Well, if everyone, if you want to share your camera, now's the time. Is
John.
you
That's how I throw a little beat in there.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, everybody smile at the camera and I'll take a screenshot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thanks, everyone. Thank you again, Manny, for your time. It
You're
was
welcome.
such a pleasure.
Anytime.
Thank you,
It's great
Manny.
being with
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Manny.
Thank you, Manny.
Bye.
All right.
Keep
Take
dropping the
care.
beat.
Okay. Yeah.
Have
Bye.
a good one.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.